Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her evil and cold-hearted stepmother and her cat, Lucifer. She also had two cruel stepsisters. Cinderella used to sleep in the cellars. It had cement walls and a cement ceiling. Cinderella didn't own a cent. Her only friends were mice and birds. Her stepmother was very mean to her, making her work all day cleaning, sewing and cooking. Cinderella tried her best to make them happy. Her stepsisters were constantly making fun of her because she lived in the cinders and hence the name, Cinderella. One day, the king invited every girl in the kingdom to a ball, in which the prince would choose his wife. Both Cinderella and her stepsisters were excited to go to the palace. Her stepsisters planned to wear fancy clothes to captivate the handsome prince. Cinderella asked the permission of her stepmother to go to the ball. The cunning stepmother told her that she could go if she completed her work on time and had something nice to wear. In the attic, Cinderella found a dress that belonged to her mother. The cruel stepmother loaded her with lots of household chores. Cinderella didn't mind as she thought about the ball all day long. It took her all night to finish her work and she didn't have a chance to fix her dress. While Cinderella was working, the mice and the birds fixed her dress. They measured, and cut, and sewed all night long. Working together, they changed her simple dress into a fabulous gown. Cinderella was overjoyed when she saw the dress. Now she can go to the ball too. But her happiness was short-lived. Her stepsisters were jealous of her and they ripped her dress and pulled off the beads. Cinderella was left in rags. Her stepsisters went to the ball with their mother. Poor Cinderella was confused and disappointed. She felt so upset that she can't stop crying. Suddenly, there was a burst of light, and her fairy godmother appeared. She had a magic wand in her hand. With a flick of magic, she turned Cinderella into a beautiful princess with glass slippers. With a wave of her hand, she turned a pumpkin into an elegant coach. Filled with ecstasy, Cinderella thanked her fairy godmother for her unexpected favor. But all of this came with a warning: when the clock struck midnight, the magic spell would wear off. Cinderella rushed to the ball in the pumpkin carriage. Cinderella was the most beautiful girl at the ball. Even her stepsisters couldn't recognize her. At the castle, Prince Charming couldn't take his eyes off her. He asked her to dance with him. For Cinderella, the night was a dream come true. However, when she saw the time, she remembered Fairy Godmother's words and tried to leave the palace. In all the hurry, she left one glass slipper which she was wearing on the castle steps. Cinderella rushed back home before the clock struck midnight. She was certain that nobody would find her. But her stepmother realized Cinderella as the mystery girl at the ball. She locked Cinderella in the attic, taking the keys with her. The prince swore he would marry the girl to whom the glass slipper belongs. The king sent the duke to try the slipper on every maiden in the country. The duke's men came to Cinderella's house to see if the slipper fit any of them. The two stepsisters tried their best to squeeze their feet into the slippers, but they couldn't make it. Meanwhile, the two bold mice stole the key and gave it back to Cinderella. As he was leaving, the Duke saw Cinderella coming down the stairs. Her wicked stepmother tricked the king's servant, and the glass slipper shattered. But Cinderella had the other slipper in her pocket. The slipper fit her perfectly. The prince took Cinderella with him to the castle. It was time for celebration in their entire kingdom as the prince found his bride and Cinderella became a princess. The prince married Cinderella in a grand ceremony. And they lived happily ever after.
Like, share and subscribe.